and Social Sciences faculty, thank you again for another great week of work. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Let me just keep you posted very quickly on where we are on our objectives. Online courses continue to flow smoothly, and what we're hearing from students and what we're hearing from administrators and people who are working with students in various areas is that students have found this to be a smooth transition, particularly in our courses. So I'm very thankful for that. I also want to keep you posted on where we are on academic advising going into the fall of 2020. When we first got a list for the registrar's office, we had over 90 names on that list. That, by the way, wasn't the full list. There were already some students that you had advised and had signed up for classes. We're now below 30 names, and that number continues dropping every day. So we're making great progress on that. And I want to thank you for putting together the information on any students that you either haven't been able to hear from for advising, or students that have told you that they're not signing up for classes for a specific reason. And Mary and I are going to begin reaching out to those students. Even a student that tells us they're not returning, we're going to do everything we can to call them and just ask the question, what would it take at the institutional level for that student to come back? We know we're not going to get them all, but even if we just get one or two, that makes a huge difference on the health of our majors, on the health of our college, and the health of our university as we move forward. I also want to just thank you for all the work that you've done on getting together a list of names of students that are struggling in your classes. Mary's been contacting those students, and I hope that you're seeing some increased feedback from those students, some interaction with those students that maybe you weren't before, now that they've had a phone call from someone else just saying, hey, you really need to touch base with your professor, because we as a school and your professor as a professor for your course want you to succeed, get through this time, and get back into the classroom at Shorter. So thank you again. I know those are tedious projects. I know they're not fun projects. None of us went out and got advanced degrees so that we could type kids' names into a spreadsheet. I know that. But I do want to ensure you that that kind of work is going to make a huge difference in the ministry that we have that's at the core of our mission of educating students in the future. So thank you so much for all that you've done there. I do want to encourage us as we move forward, as we look towards the end of the semester and graduation and the beginning of the summer. I just want to encourage you, think through ways that you can encourage the graduates that are coming out of your area. I know so many of you are already doing this. I'm going to ask the registrar's office to put together a list of names of all the graduates in our degree program. I'll sort those out by area, and then I'm going to send the department chairs a list of all the graduates with the names of the graduates and their home address, or at least the mailing address we have on file. That way, if you want to send them a card or send them a letter, you can do so. Please know that's not a requirement. We're not tracking it in any way. I just think that would be a good idea for us, that those of us who feel led to do so can write our graduates a card, because we're not going to have that time with them, at least we're not going to have it in May, of being able to come together with them and celebrating at their commencement ceremony. We are working on rescheduling the graduation ceremony, at least in some format, and as soon as we have details about that, I'll be sharing that with you. Team, I want to do something that I think I've failed to do in other videos, and that is I want to recognize that our ministry together and the excellence that you show goes so far beyond this crisis that's arisen because of the coronavirus. You do a phenomenal job as professors at Shorter University. The College of Humanities and Social Sciences is a strong team, not because of just the way we've responded to the coronavirus crisis, but because of the instruction that happens in the classroom day in and day out, not only in this time of crisis, but also through the bulk of our academic year, which took place in a normal time. It's the day in and day out excellence that I know is bringing us through this time. It's the day in and day out excellence of our team that makes me excited about us getting back to work on campus on the Hill. I cannot wait for our team to be back. I've been in and out of the office doing some essential tasks that I needed to be here for. One of the things that I just lament over as I come on the Hill is just the lack of activity on the Hill. I even struggle with that in the summer when it's just a natural occurrence. But right now, that's sad to see. But what that's doing in me, and I hope what's happening with you right now, is that God's using that to create a sense of anticipation and a greater appreciation for the phenomenal work that God calls us to do day in and day out on the Hill as we work towards the mission of the kingdom. I know that you're doing that now, but I look forward to the day when we can come back on the Hill and do it together. One just quick vignette that I hope is going to encourage you through this time. Not only has life gone on for us at this time, but life's also going on for our graduates. In this time where everything has had to be changed, one of the things that's had to be changed is there was a couple who was getting married, Jack Dodge and Karen Claypole, both of whom are graduates from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences from the class of 2019. Jack and Karen were supposed to get married tomorrow. They had a large ceremony planned. One of the reasons that I'm dressed the way I am is because I'm going to upload this video, and then I'm leaving to go perform their wedding ceremony. It'll just be me and them and their parents. But that's going to be happening later today. Life goes on for our students. And guys, I just want to encourage you, not only is Shorter a place, not only is your ministry here contributing to the education of students, but God's using it to bring students together. God is using it to form communities. He's using our ministry here to form families. He has used us in that way. He's using us in this way now, though it's a different format, and he will use us that way in the future. I can't wait until we're back, even though I'm proud of the ministry that we're carrying forward right now and the teaching that's happening right now. One last word. As you go into the celebration of Easter Sunday this week, I just want to encourage you to celebrate not only that Christ's resurrection informs your church life, but also that Christ's resurrection informs all of your life. What's happening this week, what we're celebrating this week, as we celebrate the resurrection of Christ in a special way, even though each Sunday gathering for us as Christians is always a celebration of the resurrection. But as we celebrate resurrection, let's remember that whenever we say in our mission statement at Shorter that we're advancing God's kingdom, the resurrection is the moment where God purchases a kingdom people for himself. It's the resurrection that brings us together. It's the resurrection that shapes us. It's the resurrection that gives us hope in life and in death. It's the resurrection that is our hope and our focus and our great goal in the everyday lives that we live, and it's the resurrection that sustains us through this time of crisis and difficulty. God has demonstrated his love for us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us, and God has shown his victory over death in Christ's resurrection. I hope you and your family have a very happy Easter, and please know as always that I'm privileged to work alongside you. Thank you, team.